and welcome to Sawadika! We are having a quick stopover in Bangkok and thought we would take you along with us. Hotels in Bangkok have become so expensive and we wanted a budget-friendly option, so we found this little boutique hotel called Baan Varja in the Silom district, which is the financial district of Bangkok, for around 70 euros per night. It's old colonial style and is on a quiet street away from the traffic, which is so nice when you're in the middle of a busy concrete city. But on the courtyard they have these little pots with water and a pond with fish. Basically they use these fish as decoration, and it's very, very sad to see them every time we walk past. So I would not recommend to stay here, and maybe check for reviews for warnings about hotels using fish as decoration, because I've seen it in quite a few places here in Thailand already. Animals are not decoration, they exist for their own purposes. The first thing we did when we arrived was to check out Lumpini Park. It was around a 30-minute walk from the hotel, so we got to explore the city a little bit at the same time. People describe this park to be like Central Park of New York, and I actually don't agree, because it's basically a pond with a little bit of grass and a few trees, but there's not that much shade and there's still lots of concrete around. So if you're looking for a nature experience, this is not it. We desperately needed a break from the heat, so we visited a massage salon. All the massage salons that we saw had aircon, which was so nice. A massage was around 200 baht, so the prices were really good too. By coincidence, we booked a hotel that was located right next to the vegan restaurant Culinary. The menu in this place was just next level. They had many different mock meats and also tofu dishes. It was so nice to sit inside the restaurant in the aircon. The interior was really nice. I have to say though, the service was not that great. Which is a shame, but it's a vegan restaurant, so let's be real. We're still gonna go there. In the evening, we decided to go and check out the tourist area, Khaosan Road. This is the famous tourist area in Bangkok, and honestly, don't go here. It's so noisy, full of people, the club music is so loud, and there's dead animals hanging on the street in the heat, and people eat their corpses. It's fucking disgusting. On a quiet side street next to Khaosan Road, we found this vegan-vegetarian restaurant called Ethos. Even if it wasn't a fully vegan place, we decided to eat here because the interior looked really cozy and they had a very extensive menu. In the menu, you find the vegetarian dishes in a red text, red as in the blood of their victims, and the cruelty-free vegan options are in black writing. Very nice place, but the fan is so strong, it's like a storm in here. We decided to have the pad thai with homemade tempeh, and the veggies were so fresh, and the dish was probably the best pad thai that we had during our trip to Thailand. So I just need to have a rant about this place. The first page in the menu was just an A4 paper long text telling people about how good and ethical that they are. Of course, they didn't mention the animals that they kill for eggs and dairy. And on a later page in the menu, they wrote a warning to vegans saying that soy contains phytoestrogen, which is plant estrogen, and that it can fuck with human hormones and cause cancer. Obviously, complete lies, no scientific facts to back it up. We know that soy is a health food, and we know that plant estrogen does not affect humans or mammals. However, we do know that dairy contains mammal estrogen, and that does affect us and does in fact increase the risk of breast and prostate cancer. Then we headed over to the Silom night market. They had all the stuff you expect to find in a touristy area in Thailand, like fake bags, fake sunglasses, souvenirs, and street food. Bangkok is honestly so fucking loud. After spending a day in the very noisy city, we really enjoyed coming back to our quiet hotel. The next morning, we decided to go for a walk to the Buddhist temple Wat Pho. The walk went through Chinatown, and I really prefer this market compared to the Silom night market that we were at yesterday. At the temple, you need to cover your shoulders and your knees. This is one of the main tourist attractions in Bangkok, and for good reason, because the place is so beautiful. However, make sure to be here when you open, and make sure to have cash to pay for the entry fee. It gets really crowded here during the day, so you want to beat the crowds. Alright, so this is our last day. We're heading off to the airport in around 4 hours. I just want to give you an honest review of the Khan's plant-based food lab fine dining that we went to for lunch today. And to be honest, in my opinion, totally not worth it. I've worked in fine dining restaurants before, and I've also been to fine dining restaurants to have tasting menus, and this one just didn't impress. The food was not that great. Some of the dishes were nice, I'm not gonna lie, I was quite impressed with the effort they put in and some of the deep flavors. But some other dishes were just not nice, and the drinks were not nice at all. It also took an hour to get there in a taxi, and it was freaking expensive. Including tips, we paid 8,400 baht,
Compare that to a normal meal for 2 people that cost 500 baht. This fine dining experience costs 17 times more than a normal lunch or dinner, but it was definitely not 17 times better. To be honest, I would rather go to Culinary, a vegan restaurant just across the street behind the trees here, and pay 200 to 300 baht, and I would be much more satisfied. So if you're thinking of going to this restaurant when you're in Bangkok, think twice. I mean, if you love fine dining and have lots of money, go for it. If you're like me, not really bothered, just want to enjoy some nice food, then it's not worth paying 17 times more to go to this place. I also thought I'd give you some handy Bangkok tips and tricks. Transportation is super easy. You can either get around by their public transport. It's very cheap, but it's also very inconvenient. Like, it takes a long time to get from one place to the other. So I recommend you to download the Grab app. Book in your app, get into the taxi, and go where you want to go. But if you do want to get into a meter taxi, then you can use the Grab app to check what's a reasonable price to go from where you are until to where you're going. I would say that Bangkok is like nice for a day or 2 days as a stopover, but it's very noisy, full of concrete, full of cars, and it's not a very nice city or environment to be in, to be honest. So I would not book more than a couple of days here when I was on my way going somewhere else. Our last meal in Bangkok this time was at the Culinary restaurant next to the hotel. And I had this chickpea curry that was hands down the best thing I ate when we were in Thailand. I really recommend to try this dish with the roti bread.